Polkadot, a popular layer zero project that did very well in the 2020-21 bull market, offering returns of just shy of 1,500% from the lows of 2020, currently down 90% from all-time highs, so still plenty of opportunity left available in my personal opinion. So in this video, as with the usual format, we'll be going over the BTC and USDT pairs, looking at some bullish and bearish scenarios, where I'd like to have my bags packed if I were an investor in the project, and of course those all important TP areas for the upcoming bull run. So if you enjoy our content, please do like and subscribe. I've had great feedback over the past few weeks, and of course drop in the comments below any projects you would like us to feature on the channel. So let's get straight into it, get rid of some of these arrows, and we'll get into the current price action. So as you can see, we've got another high time frame range to work within, which is always nice. Monthly time frame, we've got a monthly range high here at $6.86, monthly range low at $3.88, which we managed to hold back in October, and this monthly mid-range coming in at $5.32. And if we knock it down to the weekly time frame, you can see that this monthly mid-range is actually a very significant weekly level of support and resistance in the past as well. Looking across, you can see the amount of times it's held as resistance and support. So currently we are back above this monthly mid-range. We made a nice impulse candle back on the week beginning 6th of November, and we're actually holding this support ever since. You can see these three deep wicks. We've managed to hold this monthly mid-range on the weekly time frame, which is very good. And you can see it's, as I said before, a significant level on the weekly as well. You can see at the start of this downtrend back on 24th of July, which we are currently holding. So that's pretty good for a potential another impulse up to the monthly range highs. Speaking of which, that is certainly where I'd like to have my bags packed if I were an investor. I would like to have all my buying done before $7, all within this monthly range. A nice long range, nice big accumulation range, anywhere between, as I say, about $4 and $6. Average price you're going to be getting at about $5, which is a pretty good risk reward when you consider the all-time highs is $55. So you're looking at 10x even from today's prices. So not bad at all. So bullish and bearish scenarios, pretty obvious as we've been through in previous videos when you've got a range like this. Bearish scenario is, of course, breaking back below these monthly range lows at $3.88. Particularly, we did it on a weekly time frame, but managed to hold it on the monthly time frame. So a monthly close below $3.88 would be pretty bearish, although seems very unlikely. You can see the amount of support we've had on the weekly time frame as well in the past. Nice cheeky little deviation. Bullish scenarios, of course, we break out this monthly range high and start to run. But in terms of current day prices, as I say, holding this monthly mid-range either on a weekly and on a monthly time frame, very bullish indeed. Not a bad area to either continue or start dollar cost averaging in if you like the project, of course, not financial advice. So let's get into where I would look at taking TP. So a quick caveat, as I speak about on all the videos, is these TPs are purely just for demonstration purposes or illustration purposes only. Not financial advice, all that good stuff. But of course, you can choose to follow these if you like or not. How much profit and when you take it is completely up to you and your personal circumstances. You can choose a very simple strategy, either like what I'm doing here with just what's on the charts, previous levels of support and resistance, or just big round numbers, so taking profit at $10, $15, $20, etc. Completely up to you, but the most important thing is to have a plan going into the bull market and to stick to it. Take profits where you plan to. Don't just think I'm going to hold on to all-time highs or above, because we don't always get back to all-time highs, let alone surpass them, not in all projects. So always good to have some profits. You can do three things with those profits, or you can do anything, but the main three things you can look at is reinvesting on pullbacks. Bitcoin likes to offer 30% pullbacks in bull markets. In the last bull run, we had a 50% pullback in May 2021. That caught a lot of people off guard. So you can take profits, reinvest at the lows. You can diversify into other projects with risk-free money, and also you can obviously take it, withdraw it to your bank, spend it, buy something nice, or of course keep it back for the dreaded T-word tax. So completely up to you, but the most important thing is to take profits. You don't go broke taking profits. Now let's get into these TPs then. So first area of profit I would be looking looks quite low, but around sort of $8-9, just before $10, mainly because you can see it's a heavy level of support and resistance back here in the past. January 21, May 22, June 22, resistance in August 22, and I can imagine if we break out this monthly range at $7, get up to $10, we'll probably see some sort of pullback. As I say, front running that psychological level, a big round number of $10. And what you could see is a pullback into the monthly range high as support at $7, and you can reinvest those profits back in. Again, don't have to take a huge amount, 5-10%, just take a little something off the table, just so that when you potentially get that pullback could be, a decent 20-30%. You've got something to put back in and you don't feel as bad. So what would a return to those prices be from here? You're looking at about 60-70%. Not too bad. And of course, if you've been dollar cost averaging lower, maybe you've got dollar cost average entry of around $4.50. That's doubling your money. Well worth taking some out, in my opinion. And as I say, you can reinvest that back on a pullback. Next area for me would be this key area here at $15. So support back here in January and Feb 21. May 21, June 21, before we broke the level and then deviated back above for that second wind back in July 2021. Held a support here again in Feb 22 and then April 22 before we finally lost the level and then dropped all the way down to $6. So a return from today's prices back to there, you're looking at 185%. Next TP area for me would be up around $24-25. Again, clear level of support and resistance in the past. Heavy level of resistance here in May and June 21. Flip to support August 21, December 21, January and Feb 20. January 22 before then, losing it and then becoming resistance in March 22. So significant level, again, nice round number, $15. You're looking at about 350% return from today's prices. Next one, up here at $31. Again, heavy support in March 21 and April 21. Support here as well in September 21, and then flip to resistance in December 21 and Jan 22 before the big leg down, pretty much all the way down to the bottom. So let's take a look at what a return to those prices would be. Just shy of 500%, so just shy of a 5x, not too bad at all. Definitely worth taking some profits there. As I say, that's going to be a big psychological level in my opinion with all this previous support and resistance. Final two, you can probably guess where they are. So all of these wicks here, no weekly candle closes above $44 until the final bullish weekly candle we got, which was November 21, where we went to all-time high. So that is going to be a significant level of resistance, in my opinion. Well worth taking some profits there. I think if we get back up there, 700% return from today's prices. Of course, if you've been dollar cost averaging lower, even better. And then finally, of course, the last TP back at all-time highs, $52-ish, or maybe all up to $55, but as I said at the beginning of the video, from today's price, you are looking at around 10x, about 900%. Not too bad at all. Well worth taking some profit. So even if you only took 10% at each of these levels, that's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60%. You've still got 40% to go to all-time highs. Or, of course, you could just use these as levels of buying and selling. Say you have like a swing bag. Say you've got 80% of your dot and you're like, right, I'm not going to sell that until all-time highs. You take 20% out and you use that to buy and sell on levels of support and resistance. You could easily do that here. So level of resistance here, maybe buy back at the monthly range high, sell at 15, maybe get a retest of 9, or maybe this wick down here at $10, psychological level, bottom of this wick, etc., all the way up. And if you don't manage to get back in on that 20%, at least you've still got 80% of your bag still intact. And the same with this, even if you sell 60% and you go to all-time highs at 60%, you've still got 40% of your bag to go to all-time highs. So don't get too greedy when that bull market comes around. Let's move on to the BTC pair side of things. And as you can see, I've actually already got my TPs out. But let's switch to the monthly. So no range on this one. As you can see, it's just been pretty much a straight line down from that high in May 2021. We didn't actually make a new all-time high in November 21. We got to about 8,000, 9,000 sats, and then it's just been a straight line down. Important level to overcome is this monthly level here at 1792. As you can see, it was support back here in December 2020, and then as you can see, broke below, and then it has become resistance ever since. And you can actually see that on the weekly time frame as well. You can see it broke below. In fact, let's zoom in a little bit. Broke below the level, and it's been resistance ever since. We have not had a weekly close above this this monthly level of 1792 since breaking below it back in May of this year. So important level, bullish and bearish scenarios, important levels to hold is this weekly low here at 1283 sats. What you really want to see, if maybe you come down, make a double bottom, and then off we go. Deviate back above this monthly level 1792. That would be a big bullish signal for me. Once you get that monthly candle closed back above 1792, I think it's off to the races. So in terms of TPs, as you can see, I've already actually got them laid out. Clear levels of support and resistance from the past, as you can see. So let's take a look at what a return to these prices would be. So the first TP here, around 2,500 sats. That's a 75% return from today's price. You can see clear level of support and resistance in the past. Next one is up here at 3,800 sats. And a return from today's price is about 164%. Next one up here at 5,200-ish sats, and you are looking at a return of around 200, just over 250%. Final two, as you can see, strong level of resistance here, pretty similar to that $30 level, I think it was, up on, where was it? Yeah, $32 on the USDT pair. Strong level of resistance. We only got 2 weekly closes above this level of around 7,800 sats in the last bull run, and you are looking at a 400% return on that. And then back to those all-time highs, you are looking at just over 500%, but in fact at all-time highs you're looking at 600%. So a 6x return on your Bitcoin is not to be sniffed at all. So pretty decent area to start accumulating if you haven't. As I say, you want to see those weekly lows hold at around 1,200 sats, and then deviate back above the monthly level, and happy days. Now, again, very important to look at taking profits on, especially on the BTC side of things. As I said, we didn't actually make a new time high in November, whereas we did in the USDT pair. But also the example I always like to use is ADA BTC. ADA, of course, made new all-time highs in the USDT pair from the previous cycle in 2017. From the highs of 2017, we made new all-time highs in 2020, 2021. However, in the BTC pair, you can see the all-time highs on the BTC pair was 8,700 sats. In 2021, we only managed to get up to 6,000 sats. So again, don't be that person that just holds on to their entire bag, waiting for all-time highs or a breach of all-time highs, because you might not get the chance to sell. You imagine if you were accumulating ADA all the way down here in 2019, 2020, down at 500 sats. It got all the way up to, you did a 10x up to 5,000, 6,000 sats. You go, no, I'm waiting until we break the 2017 all-time highs of 8,000, 9,000 sats. And then you've pretty much round tripped all the way back down to 1,000 sats. Don't be that person. Always have a plan and stick to it when the euphoria and all the emotions come flooding in. So hope you enjoyed the video. As I said, please do like and subscribe. Drop in the comments any suggestions you've got for things you want us to cover, any requests, and have a good weekend, and we'll see you next week.